Alright, here is the video review for a cool little surprise that showed up today. I got a missed package slip yesterday and I couldn't imagine what it was. I wasn't expecting anything in the mail, certainly not from overseas. And I went and picked it up this morning and it was this, the Shadow Fisher SFM-05 replacement head for Masterpiece Shockwave. And this thing is really pretty cool. It comes on, you can see, on just this small little blister card. You will need to get a CR927 3-volt battery. I got it for about $3 at my local battery shop. But yeah, so you cut the little tape around here, just the card just slides out so you can repackage it if you wish. Pop the head out, and you have what appears to be a pretty faithful reproduction of Masterpiece Shockwave's head. The difference is, and there's no screws holding it together, you'll notice there's no light piping here on the back like there is on Masterpiece Shockwave. So without having to do any screws, it pegs together actually very securely. You just pull the front half off of the back like this, and inside, be careful you don't lose the button. The button is a separate piece here, so and it can come out, so make sure that doesn't go flying off when you pull it apart. And inside is this little assembly, and the battery is just sandwiched here between the boards. Now the instructions show the flat side facing the button itself, and then the little divot bump on the top of the battery going towards facing the front side of it. And that is not how, like, I put it in that way and it didn't work. I flipped it over so the completely flat side was facing the front, and then the little divot side was facing the button, and then it worked. So make sure you do that. And then you just place it back inside the head. And let's see, there's that button. So do be careful about that. And the button is angled to match the back of the head, so if you put it in, make sure you put it in the right way. But you just take the two halves of the head, push them back together, and like I said, it is very secure. You're not going to accidentally pop this off. You do have to use a little bit of force to pry it apart, but not so much that you have anything to be concerned about. He does have a yellow plastic eye there in the middle. And then the ball joint back here is entirely on the back half. So again, you don't have to worry about it popping apart when you're putting it on and off. And all you have to do to replace this is just pop Shockwave's head off the ball joint. However you wish to do that, just pop that off. Take the replacement head, it goes right on the same ball joint, just snap it back into place. Like that, hold on. And there it is on the body. And what's cool about this is, and as you may have just seen, like when they were showing off the prototype, there's an LED inside of here. You push the button and it glows. And then when they were showing off some of the prototype pictures, it was a red LED. There's yellow plastic on here, and I was like, why would you want this red LED in Shockwave? I realized that some versions of Shockwave did have a red LED, but that seemed odd to me. And I'm like, oh, and then so I was thinking, well, maybe that's just on the test shot. And I got the package today. I put the battery in, turned it on, and sure enough, red. And I was like, ah, well, I mean, it's still kind of cool that it lights up. Then I went to turn it off. And you'll notice that with a second click of the button, now he has a yellow eye. It doesn't blink, they stay on, a solid light stays on. And then if you click it again, it's actually, I said 3-color LED or a tricolor LED on my Twitter feed, and I knew how it works. It's really, it does 3 colors, but it's actually a dual color LED. It's a yellow LED and a red LED. And then when you push it a third time, it mixes them to give him an orange eye, if that's more your speed. I feel like that's really more of a remnant of the fact that they wanted you to have red and yellow, and then there's just a third option. But it doesn't look bad either. The orange is kind of a nice shade if you want a more of a muted, glowy eyeball. You can see even in the dark. Ooh, it still glows. And then one more click will turn it off. So, like I said, it's a solid LED, and then each button press changes the color from red to yellow to orange. So it's really impressive, and I like the fact that, like I said, it's a perfect match for the stock head. Now, the only drawback to this, I feel, is that with the light piping on this, even in like just an ambient lit room, like see if I cover it, it looks a little dead. But even in just, and then granted I do have brighter lights, but even in an ambient lit room, the light piping on the MP Shockwave head, the original, still caught enough light to make his eye kind of subtly pop on the shelf. Now this one, again, under bright lights like this and under a direct light, the yellow does stick out because it is still yellow plastic here on the LED. But it does look, like I said, under normal lighting, it is a little less, it does pop a little less with the LED off than the stock version does, as you can see right here. But it's still a yellow eye. It still looks like Shockwave. But with the LED on, it's really nice looking. If you turn on his arm LED, some of the light is washing it down on camera, but it's a really vibrant. Let me see if I can turn off one of these lights just to give you an idea of. There you go. Just how bright. Like now, here would be one of my LED strings is out. On my, that's easily fixable. There's just a loose wire somewhere. I will fix that. I may have unplugged one of the LED strips when I was fixing something. Anyway, that's a separate problem. Like so, here's the masterpiece head in the same light. And here, and I'm not blocking the light piping, so you can see it's much brighter with the LED on. So yeah, that's a really cool little add-on for a really cool, what was already a pretty cool masterpiece figure. But like I said, and also the LED, the eye does not stick out quite as far on the Shadow Fisher head as it does on the, because on the MP head it sticks out just a little bit past the ridge, and on this one it's just about at the ridge. But yeah, cool little upgrade. I believe it's $14.99 at TF Source, so it's not like a super expensive upgrade for a masterpiece figure, and it looks really nice. Like I said, it matches the original head. It's easy to swap the battery, and it's just a neat little bonus. You don't need it. Like I said, I do feel like the light piping on this head is sufficient to give a really dynamic eye on the masterpiece. But if you want something you can make pop a little more at the touch of a button, there it is. It's the same size and dimensions as the masterpiece head, so it's fully transformable with it on. I do say, if you're going to transform him, be careful, because if you flip his head up, you can see that the button can actually hit that hinge. So it's possible that, like, during the transformation process, you could turn this on if you're turning him into gun mode and run down the battery without realizing it. Now, chances are you'll probably notice it's on during the process, but just be aware of that it is possible. It doesn't take a hard press on that button to turn on. It takes a deliberate press, but it doesn't take as much force, especially, like I said, if you just flip it up like that, it doesn't take much leverage against that hinge to turn the LED on and off. But yeah, I dig it. It was a cool surprise when I picked up my package this morning. It's the Shadow Fisher SFM-05 add-on head for Masterpiece Soundwave.